Hi beautiful people, welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. Why don't you sit down and set up before you even start talking, Mr. B? What's wrong with you? Sort yourself out. How are you doing? Welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. Oh, come a bit closer. Yeah, interesting days. I was just sat down thinking the transition of becoming a kind of influencer. I don't like that word, but somebody who spreads truth was quite difficult for me. The transition of being a one-to-one healer in a little room where, to be honest, I felt at peace, protected, and I had the freedom to be expressive in the work that I was doing, which to a lot of people were traveling from all ends of the world to come to a little room to listen to a guy share information with them. And that transition from, and I'll explain why, and I'll get to the point, I guess, in a second where I'm going, which I don't know where I'm going, but please bear with me. It normally goes somewhere. Yeah, the transition was quite difficult because when you're protected in a room and people actually pay to come and see you, or travel thousands of miles to just listen to 1 hour or 1 hour and a half and have a healing session is quite beautiful because they're open to whatever. That there isn't anger, aggression, there isn't censorship. It's just freedom to share your truth. Whereas soon as you get to a public platform, oh my God, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, I know I shouldn't take these people's name in vain, but seriously, it's a minefield. Not only are you dealing with nut jobs, quackers, weirdos, Fruit Loops, fruit cakes, and nut jobs and more nut jobs, but then you're dealing with real dangerous people. And when you look into what's going on with these people who are the dangerous ones, you realize there is some malicious, devious, and always a hidden agenda attached to it. So I'm just trying to think of one. When I first started this healing work, there was nobody as shocked as me when I would say lay my hands over a gentleman who would come down and from wherever he'd come from, and he'd sit down and I'd lay my hands over his head, and I could feel the energy of a distortion, an energy frequency in the brain which wasn't normal. The pattern of feeling, okay, this feels like a healthy mind. And when you vibrate at health, so if there's no sickness or no kind of disease, you can feel that, wow, this is a great energy. And you learn to understand that. When there's some kind of issue or an issue coming up, as a healer, as many healers will tell you, they'll feel it and they'll know something's going on. Now, I don't know if I was different from anybody else because I didn't really get to know anybody who was healers apart from shamans and a few others. But me being a healer in a room, I was practicing myself. So I was my own teacher and my own guide. So what would happen predominantly as a one-to-one is I would receive information while I was doing a healing session. And I remember, now this springs to mind, I remember one client who came, beautiful tall guy, in his 60s, white hair, good looking guy, and his wife came very, very properly dressed, very beautiful, long hair. And she sat down because I had 2 seats and a healing bed. I took one seat out, put it there, and as I'm healing his head, she's obviously watching. I've got my eyes closed, and as I'm doing the healing, all of a sudden my head goes like that. I opened my eyes, and when I'd finished the healing session, she said, it's very strange. She said, I was watching you and all of a sudden it was like somebody'd hit you on top of the head. Now, bear in mind, this was at the beginning of my healing practice. So it was in the second year of my healing practice. I was doing healing sessions every hour, 1 hour break, and then back to healing sessions and finish at about 8 o'clock at night. So I was really full on and enjoying it. I was doing free healings on anybody with cancer. So I was getting to understand the energy of cancer too. So that was really interesting. But this guy was a beautiful man, and yeah, she looked at me and she said, "You look like something hit you on the head." And I kind of was reluctant to say anything because I'd only been doing it a couple of years, and I was just seeing if it was working, kind of thing. Like, I said, "Yeah," I struggled to say it. I said, "It was a coconut." She said, "I beg your pardon." I started laughing. I said, "I'm sorry, it was a coconut." She says, "What do you mean?" I says, "Well, I was closing my eyes. I was doing a healing session. I could see myself look up and a coconut fell from a tree and hit me on the head." She just like kind of giggled. She says, "What does that mean?" I said, "I don't know." And I said, "But I can tell you that this beautiful man, your husband, there's something happening in his mind. I don't know what it is, but it received a lot of healing, and I think he should feel a lot better. And if you want to know the message, it was the tree and the coconut. It's a coconut." And she says, "What does it mean?" I said, "I don't know. I don't have a direct line to the spirit world, and I don't hear whatever is necessary. But sometimes they show me things that are relevant, okay? So sometimes you've got to work it out yourself." And I said, "So you're here today. You haven't told me why you've come. I've worked on your beautiful husband, and he's sat very quietly." And I said, "I've worked on his feet right the way up, but it was predominantly his mind that I was working on." She started crying. I said, "I'm sorry, are you okay?" She said, "Yes, dear." She said, "My husband will tell you now." And he said, "I'm becoming very forgetful." And I said, "Okay, well, that kind of makes sense." And I said, "So I'll give you a healing session. Whatever's going on in there, it needed a lot of healing. The coconut." I said, "What do you think?" And he said, "Maybe I should eat coconut." And I said, "Maybe you should." And he said, "How much do you think I should eat?" I said, "Again, I don't have a direct line to the spirit world. They don't give me a prescription with when to take it, but maybe eat coconut or raw coconut. Just try it and see what happens." A couple of months after, I remember another guy coming to see me, Italian lad, lovely. He was in his 50s. I can see him now, quite short, dark hair, and lots of gold. Came from Marbella, came for a healing session, and the same thing happened. But this time, I was looking at coconut. Nothing fell on my head, but as I was working on his head, same place, I could see coconut. Okay, clearly, but this one, like, not like this, but opened up, and two beautiful halves of coconut. Finished the healing session. I said, "I've worked on all your body." Actually, he was lying down, and apart from one knee, I said most of the work was up at the head. And he said, "Yeah, I think I'm having problems with this early stage of dementia, and I've been to the doctors and they want to do tests and all that." And I said, "Well, all I can tell you is I saw coconut." And he said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I don't know. I've seen this before, and anybody who came with this kind of energy, sometimes spirit shows me certain fruits, vegetables, herbs, things like that, and I can see the plant, or I can see things that might help along your journey. All I can tell you is coconut." "Well, what do I do with that?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "I saw it once on a client. They never got back in touch with me, so I don't know. But I'm telling you, maybe it's coconut you need to eat." "How do I need to eat it?" "I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you. I'm giving you information. Maybe you should try it." So there's coconut, raw coconut, or a fresh coconut, and try lots of it. It's not going to kill you, is it? Well, the third time this happened was when a guy came to see me, and he lied down. I gave him a healing session. Now I saw a coconut again. So this is 3 times in a row. If you've ever heard of any of my work, you'll hear me say, if I hear things in threes or see things in threes, I sit up and take notice. So, having done the final healing session on a guy, that made me then say, okay, I think this is enough for me to actually put it out there and say to people, "Look, guys, I could be wrong. I'm not so sure, but I think there might be a brilliant thing you can do when healing people with the beginning or severe dementia. And this is my suggestion. Lots of water and a lot of coconut oil, raw, and healing to the head as healers. So I was putting it out there to other healers to help them help their clients. And please come back to me and let me know, because we're all sharing information every day, and that information should be free for everybody. So I did that. I put that out on social media, and within an hour, I was mocked, attacked, and belittled. I was threatened by a certain man who I knew nothing about, but was a doctor. So he saw my profile, and then he launched an attack and said that there was 3 things that were said, but the worst thing was said that he would take action, and because I was a danger and a threat to the public, and if I didn't stop, he would take action, and then he would see me in prison. Well, imagine being a healer and new to all of this. I absolutely crapped myself. I was really worried, and I took the post down straight away, and thereafter it was probably one of the things that made me hold back and never say anything on mainstream media ever again, never say anything in public. About 2 weeks after posting that and then taking it straight down, a lady contacted me and said, do you know, I'm not going to say his name, and I said, no, I don't, but I know who you're talking about because he frightened me to death and said some terrible things. And she said, I want to tell you something about this man, because when I saw what he wrote, I immediately had my suspicions. And I said, what of? And she was a lot older than me, and I was still I was 39, 40, something like that. So still kind of young and not really understanding any of this work, but really enjoying it and getting some good hits. People were saying, hey Mark, this worked, I really feel better, and that, okay, great. So I was continuing, but this knocked me for 6, because I mean, I don't want to go to prison. I've never done anything wrong in my life, you know, and like all of a sudden now I've become a criminal for mentioning raw coconut oil that might help with dementia and Alzheimer's, because that's what I said, might do. I'm not saying it does, but maybe give it a try. She said, I started doing some research on him, and she said he was opening a clinic, and his expertise was on the brain dementia, and his field of work was to sell pharmaceutical products. And I went, oh, right, never really given it a thought. And she said, do you understand what that means? And I said, no. And she said, well, you are encroaching on his business. And if he's investing lots of money and all of a sudden you have something that is a revelation to the world, then you're going to kill his business. And I went, yeah, I kind of see what you're saying now. And I said, but to me, he was telling me I was dangerous. She said, well, of course he's going to do that. He's a pharmaceutical mindset programmed doctor. That's what they do. I went, okay. To this day, I can't say that I know what helps with Alzheimer's. I can't say what cures Alzheimer's. I can't say that if you eat raw organic coconut that it will quite possibly heal you. I can't say that at all. I can't say that the spirit world gave me information to share with the world. I can't say that information, I can't share it with the world. I can't tell people that, because the system, the law, is a bully. Not only is it a bully, but it's a mafia organisation. And if you try and step on their toes, oh boy, you watch out, because they'll throw you in prison. They'll throw you in prison because the effect of raw coconut will do nothing but good. But then I'll be thrown into prison. But it's okay for them to sell a product which is made in a petri dish, which has all sorts of non-human and natural poisons in it, for you to take that and for it to probably cause great harm. pHARMa, harm. Okay? I can't say that. And I can't say to you that I know thereafter, from that first 2 years of all of a sudden, phone call after phone call, people after people saying, oh my God, Mark, you have no idea the improvement after coconut oil. I can't say that. So I can't say that happened. I can't say I've seen miracles with a simple raw coconut oil given daily. I can't say that because I could be a criminal. Just take a moment and think of what I've just said. And just ask yourself, do you think that the world wants to know how to heal from such diseases? If the answer is yes, then why are you allowing these evil corporations and government to stop you? Why do we allow these people to do that? I could talk to you about many diseases. I could share information which would blow you away of how easy it is to heal. With healing, with the right healing, with the right methods, and with eating correctly and what not to eat is also very important. Why is that so dangerous? And once you ask yourself that question, you can only come up with one real answer. That nobody actually wants anybody to be healthy in the system that we live in. Because that takes away another client from Big Pharma and the system and the doctors. If the world was filled with health, you wouldn't need so much any of those things. So you see, it was a big shock to me to find out when I started looking into the research of the 1940s and 50s, where the system and all the corruptness within that made sure that every single natural, beautiful mother who are healers, who know exactly what their children need when their children's feeling fluey or whatever it is, that they know to go and grab a herb, a root, hot ginger tea, and all of those things that is mocked and laughed at. And the reason why it's mocked and laughed at is because most people have been programmed to believe that all of this is hocus pocus, that your Mother Earth gives you all that you need. And when you start to really look into all of this and find out that the whole reason pharma created what they did was because they couldn't patent a lemon, nor could they patent a coconut. So what they set out to do was create something as similar as possible, but they never could, mimic it, and then patent it to make lots of money. So you see, it's so sinister, it's unreal. And people who are like me, who genuinely want to help heal people, have ended up being known as crazies, crackpots, dangerous, idiots. And that was all manipulated by Big Pharma. And Big Pharma pays the government to be their strong arm and to stick anybody in prison who dare mention that there's a possible alternative and it's natural. And if you've got skin cancer, the blushwood fruit in Australia can clear it within 12 to 48 hours. Kill it instantly. But we can't mention that. It's It's time to wake up, guys. So very soon, Invoke TV is exactly why I've created it. So you can come along and feel safe and know I can feel safe because it's our little place. It is our little membership site, which is going to be free, but no government can come, no pharmaceutical industry can come and attack us, and we can speak freely about what we've learned and what we know. And that's why I'm creating Invoke TV. It's just a little heads up, guys. Just so you know, there is another world out there of healing, and it's more powerful than you could ever imagine, and more simple than you could ever imagine. Have a beautiful day, guys, and thank you so much for going to markbayerski.com and buying your authentic oils, organic oils, all fair trade, which help and heal every day. Fair trade incense sticks from a beautiful village in Peru. And thank you so much for buying my crystals that I've worked on every day, and I hope they help heal you as much as they've helped me, and as much as I've loved working with them, I hope you love them as much and feel the energy, pure energy. Okay, I'm going to get some work done now. I've got a lot of crystals to get through now. Bye, guys. Food for thought. Take care. Let food be thy medicine. Let medicine be thy food.